I gave head first in a Goa church, flaked in coconuts. God never forgave. He, severed by 13 years, listens quiet, fumbled like a held cigarette. He speaks punctuated, full-stopping his thoughts in neatly arranged boxes. You were never scared? He asks. Fear grows from preserving, she commands. I make change. I happen. My poetry fundamentally looks at intercultural interactions in the globalized century and mirroring my own experiences of having grown up in India and lived in the States and now living and working in London, and I've been doing this for almost 5 years now. And I guess through my poetry, through the stories, to kind of use by using poetry as a means through which to tell 21st century stories, I want to explore themes like exile, migration, as I said earlier, intercultural interaction, in order to create a sense of, or communicate a sense of how fragmented but wonderful the new 21st century world actually is. When he coiled away, they both stared shocked at the white shirt, now covered leopard-like in spots of fresh blood. Poetry, I think orality is where poetry comes from, I mean, historically in many cultures. And I do fundamentally believe, whether I'm teaching poetry or performing it, that it is once you actually read a poem aloud, you actually give it breath, you release it to the world, you create its afterlife, or many afterlives. And in that context, then I would definitely think of the show as being a logical extension or development of the work that I've been doing as a quote-unquote page poet for many, many years. Yeah, I approach the reading of poetry and performance of poetry through a very theatrical bent, and it's definitely inflected by my work and training in the theatre. I would read anyone's poetry with a certain sense of performance, I guess. Because, as I said, I don't think of literature and performances being fundamentally opposed, but they actually bleed into each other. And I guess Kalagora the book and Kalagora the show will be exploring the connections between the two, because I would like the show and the experience of the show to be something that is fundamentally a communal experience between the artist and the audience itself. And that's where I think the use of film and music, the use of visual images, and I really think of this show and the book as being something that is a hybrid creation in some ways, that it's gonna hopefully in very interesting and original ways blur the boundaries between poetry and performance and the use of film and visual media with a musical background and musical score as well. So it's kind of like the way I like to think of it, or flatter myself in thinking of it, would be like Andy Warhol's Plastic Exploding Inevitable with the Velvet Underground in the 60s in New York. Quoting from a book, "You are all that is beyond and disappearing."